First, it was nationals being canceled, then the trials were postponed, and now the 2020 Olympic Games have officially been pushed back. I'm going to tell you exactly what the Olympic Committee said, as well as what this means for the world of wrestling. So let's stop stalling and start talking wrestling. What's going on, wrestling fans? My name is Josiah, and welcome to Fanco Wrestling. And this is a very unfortunate time, and one of the first times the Olympic Games have ever been postponed and pushed back. So the only times that the games were actually canceled were back in World War I and World War II. Now, luckily, the games aren't canceled. As of right now, they are still going to happen. They've just been pushed back. So this is what the Olympic Committee had to say in their statement. This is a quote from NBC Sports, coming straight from the source from the Olympic Committee, saying, in the present circumstances and based on the information provided by the World Health Organization today, the IOC president and the Prime Minister of Japan have concluded that the games of the Olympiad in Tokyo must be rescheduled to a date beyond 2020, but not later than summer 2021, to safeguard the health of the athletes and everybody involved in the Olympic Games and the international community. They went on to say the leaders agreed that the Olympic Games in Tokyo could stand as a beacon of hope to the world during these troubled times, and that the Olympic flame could become the light at the end of the tunnel in which the world finds itself at present. Therefore, it was agreed that the Olympic flame will stay in Japan. It was also agreed that the Games will keep the name Olympic and Paralympic Games Tokyo 2020. So there are a couple of interesting things that came out of this statement. I find it pretty interesting that, they're talking about that, first of all, the Games are still going to be called the 2020 Olympic Games, which is interesting. It's one thing that I thought about, how will this affect the Winter Olympics? How will this affect the next Olympics that, were supposed to happen in 2024? Will those be pushed back at all? Or are we essentially going to get Olympic Games in 2021, 2022, and then 2024? Which, that's some exciting things to look forward to. You always have to look for that beacon of light at the end of the tunnel, just like they said in this statement. It's exciting things to look forward to. Now, the president of the Olympic Committee, Thomas Bach, also said that, regarding this statement, regarding this decision, it had so many things to do, obviously, with the coronavirus outbreak. I mean, it was just a matter of time before this happened. Team Canada had already pulled out. I believe his Team Australia, they had pulled out already too, and this was just going to get the ball rolling. You saw that happen with the NCAA tournament in every single sport. First, it was one team pulling out, then it was entire conferences pulling out, and that's essentially what was going to happen here. The president said that venues were no longer available because of certain health hazards. They were dealing with millions of booked hotel rooms that were obviously going to have to be canceled and refunded, and then now he also says that international sports calendars for 33 Olympic sports are going to have to be adapted, and of course that includes for wrestling. So what does this mean for wrestling? There are a couple of interesting things to think about now, and maybe you are thinking about them, and maybe you haven't thought about them. So first of all, you think about nationals being canceled, and you wonder, will those wrestlers receive an extra year of eligibility for everybody who qualified for the tournament? Okay, well, that's nationals, that's college. The other thing with college goes with Olympic red shirts, because, of course, everybody that qualified, that's one thing, but then there were the guys who redshirted for a year so that they could prepare for the Olympics in July, and now what's going to happen with them? Are they going to be able to take another Olympic redshirt year? Will those wrestlers want to take another Olympic redshirt year? Some significant redshirts that didn't wrestle this year. You had Stefan Micic, you had Yanni Diakomahalis, Vito Arujau, Miles Amin, Logan Massa, Max Dean, Nick Suriano, Dayton Fix, Jaden Ironman, Mekhi Lewis. Such a crowded field of wrestlers. Will they be able to wrestle next year, or will they take the year off again? Are they allowed to? We've seen that there are allowed to be granted Olympic red shirts for separate Olympic Games, but what about two red shirts for one Olympic Games? That's really the big question that I have. And then the other thing is, when will the trials be held? When will the Olympic trials be held? Because they were originally supposed to be in April, just a couple weeks after the NCAA tournament, which were already pushed back. They were already postponed. But now, are the trials going to be next year, or are they going to have them at an earlier date? I mean, I guess we're going to have to wait and see when the Olympics are officially going to happen, because they said at the latest it will be next summer. The other thing is the last chance qualifier, which is the last chance to qualify for the Olympic trials. And a lot of this is just, USA wrestling stuff and USA wrestling procedures, like what's going to happen with the last chance qualifier. There are so many things that go into this now. Will the USA receive another chance to qualify 65 kilograms? I mean, there are just so many questions that are swirling through my head. There's going to be a lot to talk about over the upcoming months. So if you aren't already, make sure that you're subscribed to this channel so that you can get the latest in updates about Olympic red shirts. But please let me know, what do you think about this whole situation? Leave your comments down below and make sure that you are staying safe during these crazy times. And I hope to talk to you soon.